require someone who is committed. Commitment means that despite the change of condition.
At campus third year, my husband, he was just out of campus. He was like 2 years out of campus because I was in third year. But he gave me command, he gave me 5K, and I'm like, when I didn't change. I called you. Why did you pick up? Don't tell me that you're still at work. You didn't see my missed call.
And because people don't change.
But even the boys, there are those girls, you see, you don't feel her vibe.
You think you're in a relationship, but you're in that relationship alone. You're the one who's putting in the effort.
Hello, you're welcome once again to this space. My name is Beatrice Chimpi. I've been joined by 3 ladies, wonderful, godly, married ladies, and we're going to be talking about how to know that he or she is the right one. How did I know that Mr. Chimpi is the right one? How did they know? So come along, get a cup of coffee, get your pen and paper, and let's get rolling. I'm going to be introducing them briefly, and they will introduce themselves, you know, in a more wider perspective. On my right, I'm glad to be joined by Mrs. Nyine, the one and only. I know you remember that one. And my second person, Mrs. Emiru. Welcome back.
All the way from Soroti.
All the way from Soroti. And far right, Mrs. Lubanga, Hi. The one and only. So I'll let them introduce themselves briefly. How long have they been married? You know, those kind of things. And then we shall get into the topic. So I'll start with Mrs. Lubanga.
Thank you, Beatrice. Hello, everyone. Mrs. Lubanga Sandra here again. I'm so glad to be part of this program. Once again, like we promised, here we are. Mrs. Lubanga, married for 13 years, and we are here to share about true love. Out there, I know some of you are in relationships, you are in courtship, you've been married, some of you more than I've been married. So we are going to share, how do you really tell he or she is the right person? You're in true love. I know we all have that love feeling.
Thank you, Beatrice. Wow. Hello, everyone. How are you? How are you, our viewers? Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much for subscribing. Once again, this is Karine Nyine, the beautiful girl. We are here to share, rub shoulders. As I usually say, is where we are going to share. And I've been married for... next year I'm making 10 years, so now I still count 9, mother of 4, and we bless the Lord. So thank you, Beatrice.
Okay. Well, thank you, Karine. Thank you for coming and honoring the invitation once again. So lastly, the one and only, Babi.
Hi, I am Babi Nels. I am Nalunkuma Barbara Emiru, also known as Babi Nels, on my social media platforms, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, to those of you who are just seeing Babi for the first time, she's a YouTuber. So you can just go and search for her. She uses the names Babi Nels.
Yes.
And you'll find her there. We are glad to host you. Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here to meet these amazing women. Yeah. I've been married for 5 years. I made 5 years in September. And
Wow, congratulations. Not so many people make it beyond 5 years. Yeah.
And so, I'm happily married. I thank the Lord.
Amen. Wow. So, as you've seen the title of the, of the video, we're talking about how does someone know that this person is the right one. We are all married, and so we have a clue on how we knew that this Mr. was the right one. So, first and foremost, there should be some sort of sharing of values and goals. Because everyone as a person, they have their own values. You who is watching us, you have your own values that you cannot compromise on. Some of these values are cemented. They're like family values. Some of them are your own values. Values such as religion. Yeah. Values such as religion, you would say, I have to get married to a person who is born again because I'm born again. Because realize when people go along and they have different religious beliefs, sometimes it's really hard. So having the same values is one of the things that you can look at and you tick.
Yeah.
Because almost every girl or every guy has a list of the things that they would want to see in a person they would get married to. So if on your list that should be one of them. Because there is no way you're going to make a great marriage when you are contradicting on certain values.
Yes.
Values like we some people they share with the same even culture. If that is the value that you hold and you feel like this person has to be of a certain tribe and that is your value, then you should go on and date such a kind of person. That means the others that come and don't fall in that tribe, they're not going to make it. Like for me, I knew I wanted someone who is born again, who is saved, because I grew up from a Christian background, and that means that there were so many people who would qualify, but because they were not, because of just that particular value that I held and my family holds, they just couldn't make it on that top list of the man who would marry me. So I had to cancel. On that point of values, ladies, what is that one value that you felt like if this guy never had this value, I wouldn't get married to him?
I think I am a person of quality time. So I knew that if a person doesn't give me that quality time, you're busy all that time. It was a turn off and I wouldn't take it.
What if, Babi, what if this person comes, like, they give you the time that you need, yet they are not the right?
No, it's not. I don't have just one. Yeah, so
It's
quality
one
time
of
goes
these.
hand in hand with something else.
Yeah.
So, but quality time was one of those.
Yeah.
Because I know those young dudes who know how to give time, but yet they are not.
They're not.
So maybe time is her love language. That she needs the quality time. Beatrice talked about the God fearing. I think we as Christians, that's our number one value to find in a man. But then also, one of the key things I personally looked at, it was respect. I really loved a guy who can respect me, and not only me, but even my friends, even my family. So when you find one of the key things, a man who loves you will respect you. And in most cases, they will even respect your values. They will try to fit into whatever you're trying to believe in. And in case they do not believe that, they will always advise in a right way and tell you, for example, Babs, whatever you're doing is right, but maybe you could do this and this. But have you ever seen a guy who can even just come, Babs, what were you? And then someone just calls you, and then they command you, you're just dating. And then someone has that commanding tongue. There is no respect in everything. You're still learning each other. There is that abuse. There is that command of tongue. There is, where are you? Why didn't you pick up? Why didn't you do what? There is not naturally no respect, even the way they speak and the way they present themselves. Totally, when someone is abusing. But if someone has respect, respect, we really need it. Like even the way the Bible talks about respect, honoring. So if someone honors you, respects you, that is one of the qualities I was looking at when I was looking for a man. And glad I met someone who has respect. I know respect, it's a character that sometimes can be learned from home, but we as Christians, God gives us so the grace to learn how to respect people, to honor your pastors, to honor your leaders, to respect your leaders. So any man who has respect, you try to consider and see. Because in a relationship, in your marriage, when you don't have respect, you find that you cannot conclude on most of the things.
You don't give your opinion.
Yes, you cannot share opinions. Because you find that in most cases, you won't be on the same page. You will not be on the same page. But if you know how to respect each other, even when an argument comes in, you always submit to each other, come to a conclusion, and things will move on. So respect is really key when you're finding your true love.
Wow.
If someone is not respectful when you're just dating, it means that in marriage it's going to become worse. Because
else.
Now he has no any
fear.
He'll become abusive.
I feel like those are some of the red flags that actually people ignore these days.
Yes.
A boy threatens to slap you and you still, he will change. He will
They even
change.
slap you, not even
They
threatening.
abuse you. They call you and they shout at you, and you ignore, believing God that they
Someone
will change.
bugs. I called you. Why didn't you pick up? Don't tell me that you're still at work. You didn't see my missed call.
And by the way, let me tell you what, like he's the one who bought the phone.
You know?
And be like, he's the one who bought the phone.
The airtime is
Yeah, the airtime. Girl. Hey, he bought the
Where
phone,
you
but he's
going?
not supposed to shout at you.
Yeah.
Yes, my daughter, my friend.
And compromising, like why I don't know why I'm overthinking about this issue of respect, because once women, for us, when we get married, we lose ourselves sometimes.
Yes.
We lose our identity, and so just imagine you're lost in this marriage, you're working on your marriage, you're having children, and then you're having an abusive person, because people don't change. One thing some people have to know is that people don't change. Once you get married to someone and they are abusive, it's just going to become more. They just, if you overlook it and say maybe he will change, these people have been married. I'll ask them if there is anything that they settled for, and and it changed. It really, you'll have to put in a lot of energy.
You put in a lot. Really put in a lot.
Yeah.
But as long as someone is abusive, in most cases, they be abusive. That means you're going to pray first. You're going to put in
to be
more.
On the mountain
it
for
goes
long.
back to what you said. You lose yourself. You even lose your esteem because you have an abusive partner. Because you compromise in your date, in your courtship. You compromise and said, Mr. Lubanga will change. But hey, man, when it gets there,
Lord, that beats die hard.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
It's true.
with respect, no compromise.
No compromise.
Yeah, maybe another thing I would share with people out there, and even my friends here, and you've tested it, is the commitment bit. You're in this relationship, but it is you fighting. Especially for us ladies, we are not called to fight. But if you have this person who is committed, I thank God that I met this person, and for us we dated for so long. Those who know us, I know now you're like, hey Karen, you dated. Yes, so for us we dated for some good years, like 4 years, me and my boyfriend. But one of the things, we had issues here and there, but one of the things that I saw in Mr. Nyini, that guy was committed. Until today, I am still enjoying the fruits of commitment. Nothing else. He was committed. He used to tell me, Sweepy, leave all those that are shouting about our relationship. Look at me. Until today, my friends can testify this. Till today, even the people that talked ill about our relationship, actually, I don't say that they are shy, but by the grace of God, the Lord has covered us. But because of what? Commitment. So my friend there, don't settle down for less. You're the one shouting. You're the one calling.
Making the phone call.
You know.
If they don't send a message,
You're the one pushing, yet you're not called to head. Especially, I'm talking to a girl child. You're not called to push. The commitment, it is, especially even the vows. It calls someone who is committed to maintain the vows.
also to know your worth. If you know your worth, and the person is not giving you what you be like, that person is not like giving me that time. He's not doing like you feel it. You feel when someone is giving you the worth.
Yes.
You feel
If
there
you
is
don't feel it,
lack.
my friend.
There is that bit that is lacking. And
Actually,
girlfriend, concentrate on that.
Actually, I think why there are so many heartbreaks these days, it's because women, ladies, we have tended to push.
That is
we
the
are
thing.
pushing the relationships, yet it's supposed to be the other way
round.
So you find like the innocent girl is busy crying, you put it, and these days girls are working, they have their own money. So
Hey, they do whatever it takes.
they have their own money. So you
Jesus.
find it's you putting in more money, it's you chasing the guy, you're buying the shirts, you're buying for him the shirts,
It is you apologizing by the meanwhile.
he has annoyed you, but you're like, Bambi honey, I'm really sorry, you go with the shirt. And before, those days, it used to be the men. They apologize, he comes with the flower, he takes you out. But these days, it's us women doing it, which is not right.
But also, do you know that some girls are in? You think you're in a relationship, but you're in that relationship alone. You're the one who's putting in the effort. You're the one who is buying breakfast. You're the one who is
Like doing everything.
People have reached an extent of even funding the functions.
By the way,
Talk about
funding.
funding,
Talk about
introduction
it,
functions.
Beatrice.
People are funding kuchala.
There is no
100%.
commitment. There is
And
no
then
commitment.
the guy will just come and say, it's her who did it.
Yeah.
Also, it
Exactly.
wasn't me. It's her.
you people also there you reach in marriage and the guy is not providing and you're saying the guy is not providing.
Yet it's you saw there is no commitment, but because you had the money, you're pushing the vibe, you're pushing
Tell
the
me how
the
that guy will
SMSs.
provide for your family.
No.
He will not. He will not, because the commitment was not there in the first place. And remember, these people are called to chase. They are called to commit. They are called to be the priesthood of the homes.
To love us as
And-
Christ loved the church.
And for you, you're taking away their role. You're seeing there is no commitment, but for you, you're trying to think that the commitment will come.
And you expect him to pay school fees.
Dear, go back and revise. If that person is committed.
For me, before I talk about the guys who are also in the same boat where they are chasing girls who are not
Exactly.
abatabaliko,
Yes, you're right, Beatrice.
I'll talk about I'll supplement on the effect of you. Men are naturally chasers.
Yes.
They are naturally chasers.
I think you are just the way you
Yes, Miss Langine knows. I was chased. Even till today, I am still being chased. Yes.
So if you find yourself in a relationship that you think you want it to mount to marriage, but you are the lady, before we talk about the guys, you're the one chasing, my dear, you're going to end up in a marriage that you will not like. Because what we are looking at today is how you know the person you're going to get married to and settle with. You cannot settle with a
Lifetime
person
commitment.
that you're going to end up paying school fees, paying the house, paying food.
Because it is you who is committed. The other party actually is watching the space, actually waiting for the person to be committed to. Do you know that? If you show the person that it's you chasing, he will get someone. Men
chase after.
love vulnerability. But you remember what we talked about, those who have watched our previous videos, like status. When our men are like they are around, you're comfortable. You don't. But just imagine your husband is around, is comfortable because you are around. Barbara, she's around, kids will go to school. Fire. You know? Girlfriend, kindly revise back.
Yeah, really,
is that
we need to
relationship
revise, eh?
really working out? Do you see the things? Do you see the commitment? Vows are hard. Vows, I mean, you can even forget the wedding day if someone is not committed.
I'm going to pose a question. How did you know that your husband is committed?
No, actually, before you pose that question, I wanted to add on what you said. Like men are chasers, and there's something that Karen said. If men are chasers, and it's you who chase that man will always go and chase someone else and catch someone else.
Automatically.
So that is where the heartbreak comes in.
Yes.
Because for you, you're just there, you're available, you're doing everything.
Beatrice, we are not only talking about to a girl child or
Even
to us
boys.
the ladies, but even the boys. There are those girls you see.
they are available, which means they can be available to everybody.
Yeah,
else.
but you don't feel her vibe, my young brother. If possible, kindly. Because again, you will not chase when you're chasing someone that you're not getting. It is also not good.
Like
We see guys
Baganda
trying.
say. Because you need to give your airtime when someone is receiving. Yes, I received. They buy your phone. And you jump around, but you buy your phone and someone then, yeah, even my dad bought me this. Man, that person will not also appreciate, will not respect you.
Yeah.
They will not value you. They will not see the best in you because,
Actually,
man.
the thing on social media that keeps on saying, those people in relationships where you say, hi, good night, hi, love you, then someone just sends a emoji.
Yeah, a relationship is a two-way. It's not only for the girls, but only why we are emphasizing for the girls, because we are ladies. We've seen respect, we've seen values, we've seen all the things. So
Commitment.
that's why we are sharing.
So how did you know? Which sort of commitment did they show you? Because when you talk about commitment, someone is like, commitment. So how did you know that? I'll start because it touches me so much. From the point where you said that people were shaming your relationship, thinking that it would not go anywhere.
Yeah.
I was one of the, you'll have naysayers. You'll have people who will be like, those ones, they cannot go anywhere. But the commitment that my husband showed when we were dating was over the moon.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, this means that, like Barbara said, that when you're looking at these points that you have on your list to get married, you don't base on only one thing. So he was Christian, he was respectful, he had values that I share with him. He was committed. Because like we said, someone can have all those values but they are not committed. Like ajana kugamba ko lero omwezi ogujja tokyamulaba. Ajana kugamba ko nakuvibinga 3 months 1 year esimu neva kunabulawo. So you just imagine which kind of home you'll have. Then nama nakomawo. Kumba ava kudatinga ko bakazi balala nalaba nga nebigama. But mine was committed from day one up to now. Why people need to know that commitment is important? Like, I think you're the one who said it. It requires someone to keep vows, requires someone who is committed. Commitment means that despite the change of conditions, I'm still around.
Yes.
Yeah. So many things when we get married tend to change. So many things. You marry someone this size, they become. Then you marry one who is big and then they become small. We've seen a lot of situations that we don't even want to talk about, but situations change in marriage that require someone who had commitment in the first place. Someone who will say, like, really, from experience, I've seen you fight, you have these hot fights.
You have
and
these
you're like,
arguments.
Yes.
No, and then you put on a smile.
But it's not. At least you see commitment.
For me, when we were dating, we dated at campus third year. But my husband, he was just out of campus. He was like 2 years out of campus. I was in third year. Bambi, he gave me command. He gave me 5K, and I'm like, this guy give me. I dropped the command. I was like, don't give me this little money. The guy looked at me, Bambi. I thought I was like, this guy's not going to come back. Like after throwing his money. But Bambi was like, but where did you learn those manners?
Commitment.
I don't know. We are emphasizing this because it's kind of as if the whole gist, apart from someone being the same religion with you or whatever you want to share with them, if a person is not committed, they call it ghosting. You've seen someone who, on social media, this trend of technology, someone can ghost you on the phone. They blacklist you. You send messages. The messages are being they are not read or they are blue ticked. But you see all those signs and you're still there, my dear. Put some value on yourself and move on and look for someone else who you can settle with. It's called what?
Well,
shadow boxing.
Hey,
you're blue ticked, and the person is not replying.
After do they reply? It's not even blue ticked. Remember, there's this option of like someone has read, but they haven't yet read. They're not blue ticked, but they're double ticked. So
There is that new WhatsApp.
Hey.
Yeah, there's that new WhatsApp.
So you be there in suspense. Has she read? Has she not read? You cannot tell.
So there comes a point where someone has to really consider self-love. Like they have to love themselves beyond the relationship. I happen to be around young girls a lot, and this is what I commonly see. I see people chasing guys, people being on their neck. The guy is not calling. Since morning he has not called. If
you're always checking on your phone, dear one.
He's
but
not
the
one
person
for
is
you.
not yet committed. Maybe Beatrice, to help someone out there, like how will you know that the commitment is there? Yeah, in a relationship, there are those ups. Ladies, I believe you've seen them.
Ups and downs.
Yes, like for us who dated for so long, you would see the ups. We saw the downs. We saw everything in our relationship before we got married. But the commitment that I'm talking about is the fact that this person will always come back to you and be like, Sweepy. He calls me Sweepy. I call him Sweepy. Sweepy. Yeah. And he's like, Sweepy, I am here. I remember the first time we went out. Ring. They still melt my heart to the extent I even feel like crying.
Dennis, God bless you.
Amen. Dennis, God bless you.
I knew I was getting married at 35. That was what I wanted. Someone who has belief in you to know that Barbara ajakula.
Tajakuda musula sente. Can you musula sente? No, but